Mount Zion itself is not too far from Jiaoshen, pardon my pronunciation, the town that was devastated by Typhoon Morakot. The typhoon, so Jiaoshen is maybe 4 or 5 kilometers south of Mount Zion. So Mount Zion was right in the thick of things with the typhoon. The typhoon, as everyone knows, was a great disaster for Taiwan. Hundreds of people died. Many people have been left homeless. Infrastructure was destroyed. Farms were destroyed. Farmland was buried. So for those who were affected by it, it's been a terrible tragedy. The New Testament church were not exempt from this. They had what they called Land Lot 2 down by the river, just next to Highway 21 in Kaohsiung County there. And 7 of their church members died during the typhoon. They were buried by a landslide, apparently. These people were basically involved at the time working for Mount Zion. They were involved in sort of disaster relief. They were on the walkie-talkies. They were doing various activities involved to keep the mountain safe. Once it was realized that these people were missing, the church, the members of the church were very upset, and they embarked on a rescue mission. They searched the mountains, they searched the valleys, looking for the survivors, and they had a few false leads, a few false hopes, but eventually the 7 people were declared missing, which is a great tragedy for their families and their friends on Mount Zion. It's a very close-knit community. However, the New Testament church has a very strong eschatological concept of the world. For many decades now, Elijah Hong has been making announcements that the tribulation is near, that the end of days will be coming very soon, ever since the 70s. And these announcements are made every so often. I've got records from the late 70s, early 90s, in the late 90s, in the lead up to the year 2000, such announcements about the impending tribulation were made. And again, this year, Elijah Hong was making similar announcements from his pulpit, saying that the tribulation will occur soon. And this is very important for the New Testament church, because they believe that when the tribulation occurs, Jesus will descend to Mount Zion. And all the members of the New Testament church who've remained true to the teachings of as revealed in the Bible and through revelations revealed through Elijah Hong and Sister Kong, people who've maintained the discipline required to follow these teachings, will be raptured up into heaven, where they will live in what they term the heavenly Zion. Right now they live on the earthly Zion, so they will live in the heavenly Zion when the tribulation occurs. Following this, there will be a period of great disaster on the earth. So the New Testament church sees events such as tsunami, famine, disease, epidemics, and typhoons as examples of this coming tribulation. And Typhoon Morakot is no different. To them, it was a real important symbol that whilst they weren't unaffected, Mount Zion is still there. The majority of the people are still there on the mountain, and they will continue to do God's work as they understand it on Mount Zion. So the 7 people who died, it is very sad for the church. I've seen footage of their family members, and they're very upset, and as you would expect. However, within the bigger picture of the church, there's a different conception of what has happened to these people. Up until the moment they died, they were working for God. They were down there in the valley, joining in with the rescue or the disaster prevention action that was going on the mountain. And right up until that minute when they were supposedly buried by the landslide, they were working for God. Now, the church believes that these people have gone into heaven now, and that that they have set an example for those who remain on earth. These people kept working right up until the moment that they died and went to heaven. And this is something that Elijah Hong has used perhaps to motivate, to inspire those left behind on earth, that keep working, follow the example of these saints who've ascended to heaven, and that when your time comes, if you follow their example, you too will join them in heaven. And that Highway 21, which is the road that goes along the base of Mount Zion, connecting it to the local towns, has been buried under meters and meters of mud and rocks. And that while this mountain itself has been washed away, the path from Mount Zion itself to heaven has been opened, and that it is only a matter of time before the rest of the church join their 7 brothers and sisters who have already ascended into heaven.